Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a very interesting and I think important company in the AI space. They've been launching some interesting new things, and this is Snowflake. Essentially, they are bringing together developers and analysts and their needs in a new generative AI tool. So I want to talk about what they're launching here and why I think this is important with what we're seeing in the AI landscape going forward. The one thing I did want to mention is that we have launched our crowdfunding campaign for AI Box, which is my own personal no-code AI app builder and marketplace software that I'm currently building out. If you're interested in investing in a cutting-edge AI tech company, I would highly recommend checking out our crowdfunding campaign. I'll leave a link in the description. We essentially set up a deal with Republic where for the first $250,000 invested, we can give a lower valuation, an $8.5 million valuation. After that, it goes up to a $10 million valuation. And I wanted to do this really to get my community, the people that are interested, that listen to me on the podcast and have been around for a long time, a benefit over, future investors, VCs, and big angels, and big funds. So if you're interested in investing in AI Box and getting in at the ground level, you can go check out the campaign. That's on republic.com/AI-box. And I'll also leave a link in the description. But let's get into the podcast. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Snowflake, which is the cloud-based data platform, is enhancing its offering with an innovative addition. So recognizing the surging demand for generative AI and large language models, Snowflake introduced Snowflake Cortex today. So this fully managed service is tailored to facilitating both business users and developers in their essentially their projects with AI-powered applications. And this is directly within the Snowflake ecosystem. So the utility of Snowflake Cortex, I think, varies based on your position. So for business analysts, it's a kind of a doorway to a suite of AI tools, all constructed on top of Snowflake's proprietary LLMs. And these tools aim to streamline the process of interfacing with data housed in Snowflake. So on the other hand, for developers, Cortex kind of acts as a springboard to create generative AI applications using Snowflake's data reservoir. And I think this is partly leveraging a feature that became part of Snowflake's toolkit after its acquisition of Streamlit last year. So Sridhar Ramaswamy, who is the SVP of AI at Snowflake, talked about all of this in a recent kind of press thing he did. And he said, quote, "At its core, we are bringing advanced search and large language models directly to the forefront of Snowflake with a novel component dubbed Snowflake Cortex." He kind of emphasized the company's vision to integrate these sophisticated features into Snowflake. So a lot of people are like, hey, sounds great. What's the intent? What's the idea behind this? And so he recently, Ramaswamy said, quote, "To ensure our power users, the analysts who predominantly operate within Snowflake, witness a significant boost in their productivity." So this was, of course, a recent addition to the Snowflake team. Ramaswamy, I think, was a recent addition to the Snowflake team following the Neeva acquisition. They recently acquired Neeva this year, which I believe was like a Google competitor, and it was an AI model, but they kind of shut down after Google Bard launched. So developers can harness Cortex to come up with generative AI applications, but Snowflake isn't stopping there. They're offering a whole bunch of prepackaged advanced tools to assist analysts in really benefiting from generative AI. A notable mention, I think, is document AI. So this is designed to get data from unstructured formats like PDFs and, analyze documents and then kind of facilitate querying the information, right? So you get the PDF in there. And it's kind of like what you've seen in other tools where it's like chat with PDF or PDF chat. Now ChatGPT has this built in. Ramaswamy also said, the primary function of document AI is to enable an analyst, even one devoid of specialized programming or LLM knowledge, to retrieve structured data from these documents and integrate them into the table. The one thing I will say is like, yeah, sounds cool, but like this is a feature PDF or like chat PDF or whatever that is, PDF chat had, and now of course it's built directly into ChatGPT, so you get that same function. So I'd be curious to see, what special features they have on top of just chatting with PDFs pretty much. I think in essence, analysts can now kind of query unstructured data from within the documents more efficiently, but like you could argue that ChatGPT already does that. So I think another interesting feature is the universal search functionality. This is a feature integrated into Snowflake after their Neeva acquisition again. And Ramaswamy talked about this, saying, quote, search forms the foundation of leveraging language models efficiently. The new feature will grant users the ability to traverse their entire Snowflake dataset, including the Snowflake marketplace, to pinpoint specific data or developed applications. So I also think Snowflake is rolling out Snowflake Copilot, which is a unique tool that translates natural language queries about data stored within Snowflake into SQL queries. And the tool can potentially, I think, revolutionize kind of the time analysts invest in understanding data and the associated structures to, construct insightful queries. On the development side, creators can expedite application development using Snowflake's built-in models. So for the enthusiasts that are kind of looking for, granular control, I think there's an option to design applications interfacing with external LLMs, including open source ones and those provided by cloud giants like Amazon Bedrock and Azure OpenAI. So developers will also benefit from the Snowflake container services launched earlier this year, which essentially help give you efficient deployment of applications as containerized workloads. We've seen a number of other tools in this space, but I think they have a fairly solid offering here. So Snowflake Cortex, I think, really kind of signifies the company's overarching strategy to diversify the usage of its stored data, whether that's through searching, querying, or application development. And I think as of now, Cortex and its foundational features are kind of undergoing private previews with no definitive date for a broader rollout, but I do believe that will be coming soon. I think this is kind of interesting, right? Snowflake famously bought Neeva earlier this year, and I think they're really kind of getting into the moment where they're integrating a lot of this tech into it. I don't remember if when the Neeva acquisition went through, if they specifically outlined the price that they purchased it for, but I think that they raised over $77 million since they founded the company in 2019. Most recently, a $40 million round came with, just over 2 years ago from some investors, including Sequoia and Greylock. So I think, Neeva obviously had a lot of money into it, right? $77 million. So I'd be curious to see what Snowflake actually purchased it for. But, when you spend $77 million or more, or maybe less because it was a distressed company, on a product, you would assume you'd want to really integrate the core technology there. So I think this core search technology of Neeva, Snowflake is working on integrating. That'll be interesting to see how that continues to roll out in the future. And then in addition, of course, they got Ramaswamy from Neeva, and who's now kind of head of AI over at Snowflake. So they definitely also got talent as well as the company and kind of the technology. Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast, where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.